Hola, Game Passers, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Tenemos nueva incorporación, un juego que nos llega día 1, Return to Grace. Parece ser un juego pues en primera persona, de típico juego así un poco pues, narrativo, con puzzles y demás. Creo que no es muy largo, así que lo voy a jugar entero. No van a ser unas primeras impresiones, sino que va a ser todo el juego entero. Y la pega importante que tiene es que está en inglés. Nos llega optimizado para Series X, pero no tiene, vamos, no tiene ningún tipo de opción gráfica ni nada por el estilo. Así que vamos allá. Intentar hacerlo rapidito. Esto que puede durar unas 2 horas, pero bueno, nunca te puedes fiar mucho de la duración de los vídeos de YouTube y tal, porque suelen estar editados y bueno, ya sabéis. Hay problemas con los sensores.
Hold on.
Impact in 10, 9. Oh, there it is. Addie? Addie, please respond.
Everything hurts.
You've been out for nearly an hour.
What's our status, Alan?
We've crashed.
Yeah, I got that.
My hull is intact. Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment.
So will my back. Can you let me out?
Not before we talk about your suit.
Okay, talk.
I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries. Thermals are, well, not green, but fine, and you have 5.35 hours of oxygen, maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. But Addie, we've had this discussion before. You won't have
Alan,
enough to...
It's fine. I have a plan.
I'm concerned that...
I have a plan.
Bueno, parece que no tenemos mucho oxígeno. El robot le dice que es peligroso, pero ya tiene un plan.
Are not responding. You'll have to pull the manual release.
Seriously. This stupid piece of junk.
I'm right here.
Ugh.
Mira, ya aquí ya te da un logro.
Any sign of the spire?
I'm not picking up anything new, just the original beacon signal. You'll need to use your wayfinder to locate an entry point, if there is one.
All right. Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
You know the beacon could be anything. A lost colony, a relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here.
Me ha dicho Alan Grace está aquí, parece que estamos buscando a alguien. Vale, bueno, voy a seguir. Parece que no hay turbo. Con la antes me pareció que daba como un saltito, pero creo que no. No puedo creer la tormenta, ¿de dónde viene?
I think it's safe to assume that Ganymede is not an exception.
Hay una opción de tema de los subtítulos. No. Va a ser un poco difícil ir traduciéndolo porque el hecho de que te lo vayan diciendo así un poco al vuelo.
There's something man-made here. It's like a weather station or maybe a
Una
seismic
estación
station.
meteorológica o algo sísmico.
It's at least 700 years old, Alan.
Tiene 700 años. Eso, imagino que va a ser el típico juego, pues que eso, vas investigando qué ha pasado.
There wouldn't be much sense of building this if you weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
La baliza está a 400 metros. momento, voy a hacer un parón porque es que no veo nada. Tengo las gafas muy sucias. Un momento. Vale, vamos. He venido por ahí. ¿Por dónde he venido? Vale, trepado por ahí.
These must have been arranged here by someone. Waypoint for navigation?
Logro. Parece que esto era un coleccionable. Bueno, coleccionable.
Goes the back again.
What happened?
Fell into a stupid fissure. Looking for a new way to reach the spire. Or at least someplace where it will be easier to find my body.
Vale, tenemos que buscar otro camino. Bueno, el juego funciona bien, 60 frames, tal. No se ve mal por lo menos de momento, ya veremos luego los interiores. De momento no funciona mal.
It's opened up again.
Ah, vale, he vuelto al mismo sitio, ¿no?
The surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
Well, close. I can feel it.
La temperatura está bajando.
Oh my God. This has to be it.
Tiene que ser esto.
I'm looking at what must be the spire superstructure.
Logro.
There's a destroyed surface ladder. I'll need to find another way in. I can't imagine how something this big has gone undetected for this long.
A 500-year-old storm?
I don't know. Doesn't seem possible. I can see an exhaust port that might be low enough to jump to.
Did you make it, Addie?
I'll let you know in 1 sec. I'm in. All right, Grace. Let's find out what you've been up to for the past 900 years.
Se llamará así la base, la Grace, porque dice... Vamos a ver dónde has estado los últimos 900 años.
Hope my light still works. Well, you should see this spooky tunnel I'm in, Alan.
And why would I want that?
Come on, you're not excited?
You crash-landed me in a frozen hellscape and left me for salvage.
10 years of research, not to mention 6 months of spaceflight, are about to pay off.
But at what cost?
Don't ruin this for me.
Vale, parece que ella ha estado investigando mucho tiempo y el viaje ha sido de 6 meses.
Looks like a bit of a labyrinth, but I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
And you can still hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy.
Encontrar la fuente de
Structure looks to be in decent
alimentación.
condition.
Another good sign.
Looks like the tunnels can be air sealed. I'm guessing large parts of the station can be pressurized. Everything about this place looks 30th century to me. It's the right era, the right size.
Don't say it, Addie. We've had our hopes dashed before.
Ya veremos qué pasa con los conductos estos.
This one's broken. I think I can crawl through.
A ver, me puedo meter por ahí. Parece que es por ahí.
Jeez. That's gotta be over 15 meters.
And if gravity here is 1/6 of that on Earth, then a 15-meter fall here would be the equivalent of falling less than 3 meters at standard G, which you've mastered a couple of times already on the moon's surface.
Vale, esos son 5 metros.
It's probably fine.
I could calculate
Hecho que es como un salto de 3 metros.
based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
Gosh, I hope this is the right way. Oh boy, this is slick.
Addie?
Oh no. Whoa.
Are you hurt, Addie?
I'm working on it. The structure is enormous. This has to be the Gray Spire, Alan.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
Parece que la IA cree que esto va a ser una decepción.
I found the beacon. The transmitter is on some sort of console.
It must be part of a control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically. If you run a scan, I can attempt to connect.
Vale, si hacemos un escaneado puede reconectar esto. A ver.
The interface language is quite old and sophisticated, but we should be
El
able to
lenguaje es
calibrate
antiguo y
your computer to
sofisticado.
interact. You can use your
Deberíamos poder
gyroscope to sync with the
calibrarlo.
terminal. I have
Puedes
the
usar el
first calibration
giroscopio.
position. The meter will indicate when you are close.
Vale, o sea, esto es algún tipo aquí de puzzlecillo.
First position is locked. Second calibration position is up.
Vale, te va marcando más o menos.
That's 2, and here's the final position. That's it. We're in. Accessing the network now. Oh.
Shit. Alan, you there?
Problemas.
Alan?
Hello.
Hemos perdido a la IA.
A visitor. Let's have a look.
Where's Alan?
Hmm,
Who is this?
Tenemos a
is
la IA
this? Who
de
are
la
you?
base.
Entering a home without knowing its host.
¿Quién eres tú entrando en
Are
una
you
casa sin
Grace?
conocer al anfitrión? ¿Eres Grace?
Good question.
Buena
I'm
pregunta.
not
No
entirely
soy totalmente Grace.
I'm running on just a
Soy
small
una pequeña
part of the
parte
logic
de su
processing.
procesamiento
Grace is still
lógico.
here.
And what brings you
Grace
here?
todavía está aquí.
My name is
¿Y qué te trae
Adamari
aquí?
Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must apologize, Adamari. It would
Exploradora.
appear I have lost much of my capacity. I
Perdido
cannot
mucha de
see
mi
very far
capacidad.
beyond the room we are in.
I've lost connection with my ship's AI.
You won't
Perdido
need Alan
conexión
here.
con mi IA.
I can show you around.
Will you be able to let me out of this
Yo te
room?
puedo ayudar.
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance.
Antes de que podamos
There should
restaurar
be a
la
manual
potencia,
winch
tenemos
set
que
in
me
the
tienes que
floor at
ayudar.
the foot of one of the sliding doors.
Parece que hay un manual por ahí que tengo que encontrar. Ha hecho cerca de una de las puertas o algo así.
This must be it.
Working the winch will open the door.
Do you know where Grace has been all this time?
Grace went somewhere?
She's been gone for hundreds of years.
I am running on a very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Grace Spire.
Grace ushered in humanity's golden age. Peace across the system, booming interplanetary trade, scientific marvels, colonies beyond the orbit of Neptune. And then she was gone, and it all fell apart.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you're a lot more than an archaeologist usually gets.
Total, que la nave iba por ahí haciendo sus cosas y desapareció.
The first step to restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
I'll light the
Vale,
way.
tenemos que volver a poner la potencia. Vamos a restaurar la potencia. Me está dando logros sin parar. O sea que este también es un buen juego para hacer logro diario.
What do I do
¿Veréis?
here?
This is a security panel. I am decrypting the pattern now.
Vale, este tipo de puzzle,
yes.
supongo.
Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Okay.
Tengo que hacer un
9 buttons in
cuadrado.
the center.
That is what I said.
If you're not Grace, then what do I call you?
I don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then. For now. Until we have a better idea of who you are. And, you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as Addie, then, until we have a better idea of who you are.
So what exactly are you?
The station's
¿Qué
emergency
eres tú?
server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can also run a program dedicated to the control of infrastructure, and a third system dedicated solely to empathizing with and understanding humans. When power is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness.
Bueno, o sea, hay como unas pequeñas IAs que tienen diferentes labores y cuando arreglemos el tema de la potencia ya solo habrá ya solo estará Grace.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power station is set into the spire's
Parece roca
foundation
metálica.
stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
Amazing. Most accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid being pulled from the heavens. That makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure. I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big. We don't do anything like that today.
O sea, la base está como dentro de un asteroide. Parece.
Can you open this?
With some difficulty. I will need to direct power from logic to control processing. And I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power is restored.
What do you mean, at the same level?
Good luck, Addie.
You still there?
Where would I have gone?
You sound a little different.
Just
Vale, ahora
stronger.
tenemos a otro.
The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure. I shall start the turbine after you prime the generators that open the spillway.
And this turbine still works?
It worked before, and it will work again. You shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the room.
Alrighty. These look like cartridges. You know what's in these?
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
Vale, creo que quiere que vaya allí. Porque eso lo manejaremos luego.
These look like holding tanks. How exactly do these turbines work?
Enough, Addie. You must go to the generators.
Claro, este no quiere hablar, este solo es el de control. Logro. Logro por ignorar las órdenes de control.
So, why do you need me to start these?
Tradition. A time-honored failsafe of including human hands in the operation of this station.
So, do you share memories with the logic processor?
Indeed. We are all part of Grace. Aspects of her infinite power. Shadows of what was, and promises of what will be. I was the light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament.
Así que las tres IAs forman parte de Grace.
That's not
Tu
good.
turbina ha fallado.
I must call upon you to cast out the wicked instrument.
The what?
The broken turbine. You must go to it now.
Alright.
Habla de una manera así un poco...
Going down.
Si fuera religioso, un tema
I'm
religioso.
safe to be down here, right?
You shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety latches.
That sounds unsafe.
It is not. You must now go to the magnetic crane.
Debo
You're
ir
sure
al
I'll be able to
magnetic
fix these?
crane.
If you trust in my word, yes.
Si confiamos en él, podremos arreglarlo.
You must first cast out the old turbine.
Vale, hay que quitar la turbina que está mal.
Now cast aside the wretched unit. Now you shall place the new turbine.
Vale.
Everett?
Hello?
Everett, is that you?
Grace?
Everett, ¿eres tú?
Everett.
La voz que
Behold
llama a
my
Everett.
power.
What's happened?
I am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
This isn't right. Our processing has not combined. Grace has not been restored.
I think she was here for a moment. She was calling to someone.
Grace no ha
whoever it
vuelto,
is?
siguen estando
No.
las
With
IAs
power
separadas.
restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. but I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this
No me
place
puede
at
decir quién es
once.
Everett.
Return to your vessel and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse, all must know.
I've hijacked the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
It took me nearly a year to get here. I want to know if Grace can be brought back.
Tardado casi un
There
año
is
en
more
venir aquí.
complex
Quiero
to
saber
explore if you head
qué
back
pasa
to the
con
control
Grace.
room through which you entered. We should determine where in the megastructure my central processors are located. Perhaps along the way you may learn more about this Everett.
I forbid you to linger a moment longer.
And he's back.
Like a divine comet, dive from the outer reaches and spread light and understanding to the inner
Please.
worlds.
I'm not leaving.
Yet more insolence.
Control quiere que nos
So,
vayamos.
are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic record at all. That would have been lost during the Great Dark Age.
Dark Age?
Much of humanity's record keeping would have been managed by Grace. So, when she went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened. The research that led me here was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered on Earth and Mars. Relay devices that were once connected to Grace's network.
Then we share an interest in shedding light on this Dark Age.
Parece que la información que nos ha traído aquí es como leyendas y tradición oral y tal. Parece que no hay registros de qué pasó.
From what I can tell, there is some sort of transit system on the other side of the control room, which should lead you to the other parts of the spire.
Vale, dice que hay otra puerta que nos llevará a otras partes, lógicamente.
I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system. Alas, I require your nimble fingers again.
Alright, what's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter Tau.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist? How about the Greek
Una letra
Chi?
fenicia. La letra griega chi. No sé cuál es.
The Roman numeral 10?
Okay, okay.
Roman numera, o sea, 10 en números romanos, pero cogiendo toda la superficie.
Got it.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Like what?
Like becoming too overbearing?
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes.
Vale, ella ha preguntado que si cree que si creemos que Grace hizo algo para que la humanidad como que le diera la espalda. Y ella ha dicho que sí, que es posible. Que es una de
This
las
must be the main
teorías.
entrance. I'm guessing the
Esta es la
landing
entrada
pad is on the
principal.
other side of the big doors.
That's correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
What are these for?
¿Esto qué es?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire.
Vale,
But
esto era
they
para
no longer
procesar a
store any
los
useful
visitantes.
information.
This looks Olympian or Neo-Egyptian. The triangle must represent the spire. Beautiful, don't you think?
Does it matter if it's beautiful?
That's another way to see it, sure.
Parece que a la IA no le importa si es bonito o feo.
Cool statue. Or maybe it's a mobile. Do the little moons move?
Perhaps at one point in time. Though I'm not sure of the relevance of that.
Just curious. Is this an airlock?
Yes, The spire beyond this point can be pressurized. I assume your suit has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support
Vale,
is
están
controlled
hablando
by
del tema
chemical processing.
del oxígeno.
I suppose they had to
La
give
IA
us
le ha
updated.
preguntado
I will enable that programming
si
now.
ella pensaba que iba a poder restaurar
Hello, Addie.
el soporte vital.
Hello. So
Ha
you're
venido en
going to get
patilla.
oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject
que
to a
estas
very
plantas están
sudden drop
intactas.
in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness? The flowers defying the hoarfrost, as you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
I guess.
Which one are you?
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
It's important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or tool
Claro,
of
ella
some
no
kind?
sabe lo que es esto,
It's a
un
device for
yunque,
working metal.
porque esto es
Why
el
do you
siglo
suppose it's in this
40.
garden, Addie?
It could be a symbol of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps?
Am I doing this right?
You are doing splendidly.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to
Vale,
the
empatía
stairs.
dice que quiere que conocernos mejor para
This
regular la
statue could be
temperatura.
outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
Parece que a las IAs no les interesa mucho el tema de la belleza de las cosas.
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn. This must be Terra Classical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, to discover its gods and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder? You're not a planner, are you?
I've been told that.
No, se ve bastante bonito, la verdad, con la iluminación y eso. Está chulo.
Go ahead and choose a bloom, Addie.
This one.
I had a feeling you'd pick that. You're a risk taker. There's a passion in you, a fire you can barely contain that drives you to complete your mission. I'm making the lighting adjustments now. Ah, perfect timing. The room is fully compressed and we can go about setting oxygen levels.
Call me old-fashioned, but how about the traditional 21%?
Go ahead and seat yourself at the center of the pergola.
Vale, quiere que vengamos aquí, creo.
Very good. Now, when you're ready, you can remove your helmet.
My helmet?
Of course. You can't sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure
Nada,
it's
se ha
safe?
ajustado del oxígeno
Your
y quiere que nos
well-being is the
quitemos el
most
casco.
important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Okay.
Now I want you to take a deep breath. A nice, deep breath. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. And when you're ready, another deep breath in. Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good, Addie. Feel all that built-up stress from your long journey here release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut out any negative energy and take in another life-nurturing breath.
Voy a
Fill
intentar
those
mantener
marvelous lungs.
el aire todo lo que pueda ahora.
Hold it.
A ver si
3,
dice algo.
2, 1, and release. You can let go, Addie. Anytime.
Quiero ver qué pasa. Igual hay algún logro, ¿no? Bastante típico. No, igual se
The
muere
human
aquí.
record for holding one's breath is 24 minutes and 37 seconds. I've started a pretend timer.
Dice que el récord son 24 minutos sin respirar. Espero que no haya un logro de estar 25 minutos aquí así. Estaría gracioso. Claro, lo malo de estos logros, si es que hay un logro,
I'm not sure
es que
who
si
you're trying to
no,
impress here.
Well, some people just
Sí,
can't resist
no.
a challenge.
si no lo miras no sabes cuánto tiempo. Es para el siguiente comentario que hagan y ya suelto el aire. Espero que haya otro comentario.
Not bad.
Lo ha soltado.
That was about a minute and a half. Wonderful.
Even
Lo
the
ha soltado
station has a
ella.
limited
Y
supply
sí,
of oxygen.
logro.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky. Wonderful. How's that feel, Addie?
Kinda nice?
And we're almost done the calibration. For our last exercise, I will ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Now,
Tengo muy
once you're
claro
centered,
que es esta
you can hold your
calibración, pero
hands
bueno.
in a relaxed position in front of you. Now transfer your weight onto one foot. I want you to hold that for 10 seconds.
Okay.
What could this possibly have to do with oxygen levels?
It's about balancing.
Literal balancing? Unbelievable.
Almost there. 3, 2, 1. And that's 10 seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've done great work here today. I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
So we can move to the transit system
Vale.
now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
Vale, entonces parece que ya hay soporte vital en todo el recinto.
I'll do my best to get the oxygen mix just right in the rest of the station. Just let me know if anything is not quite working for you.
You don't suspect Grace was shut down in a human conflict?
Maybe. Or you were abandoned over time.
Abandoned?
We've walked away from a lot of great things.
Él ha preguntado que si cree que la humanidad abandonó a Grace en algún
Very
conflicto.
cool.
These tracks move
Una
transport
guerra.
pods to other levels of this complex.
Let's see if we can get this thing working. You wouldn't build a system like this if you didn't need to move a lot of people, which bodes well for finding something cool at the other end. This must be the transit control room. Looks like people worked here. No power?
There is no current running to this console. Control will be required to reroute power.
And you defied my wishes to tell the solar system of my return.
I'm just looking for answers, boss.
I am the only answer.
Control? Fine. Where's the electrical access for the room?
To the left of the rear door. But as I said, you will need control to reroute power to the console.
This era of electronics is dead simple. Won't hurt to take a look.
Necesitamos a control.
This looks like a welder's jetpack.
Jetpack.
this one's been disassembled.
Logro.
This should show the power status of the room's various systems. Well, nothing in the room is on standby.
As I'd said,
I'm gonna have to look at the breakers. My dad worked on older machines for a living. They're not predictable things. They have quirks.
I sense that there is joy in this work for Addie.
well, I can tell you there is no joy running to any of those breakers.
Sometimes a good whack will knock something into place.
It's worth a try.
Well, there's your problem right there. Someone's removed the entire power relay.
As I told you.
So why can't Control help us? Isn't he programmed to serve humans?
He's more accustomed to tasks like maintaining power grids across entire
Le he preguntado que por qué
planets.
no nos ayuda a Control.
Well, I'm
Si debería estar programado
very
para ayudar a los
much attuned
humanos.
to the needs of individuals.
What about you, Logic?
I apparently offer wisdom to the wind.
You activated Control and Empathy.
For all the good that did us.
Is there another configuration we can call on?
Grace's core processors contain only these 3 systems.
Can you combine the systems? Take the edge off Control with a little Empathy?
I suppose it's possible. But there's no telling what the outcome of something like that would be.
Could it be any
Me han
worse than
preguntado que si
Control?
podrían
It can
entre
always
las
be
dos
worse.
It sounds like a wonderful
hacerse
idea,
con
Addie.
Control.
You're right.
Pero ha
What
dicho
do
que
I
no
know?
está muy claro eso.
Don't blame me if he turns out to be a murderer.
Addie?
Yep, it's me.
Great. What are we doing again?
We're powering up pods.
So,
Lo han hecho.
you want to hotwire this thing?
Yes, please.
All right. Rerouting is good to go. You can meet me at the breaker panel. Go ahead and flip the switches.
You got it, pal.
And I'm Pal?
Sure. We'll call you pal.
Breakers look good. Now you can
Sabemos
push
que
the
han
buttons that turn
hackeado
on the
Control.
different
Esto no va a
systems.
acabar bien.
Power's up. I'll let you do the honors.
Here we go.
Oh, that's not good. I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought I would have enough power to do this for you. It seems so important for you to ride in a pod.
I think the track is just jammed with ice.
Ice? You'd think I would be able to handle a little ice.
It's okay. Is there some kind of de-icing system or something?
I don't know.
There is not.
All right, let's look for something to deal with the
Vale, no hay
ice.
ninguna manera de quitar el hielo. Podemos
This one
coger
looks to be
esto,
in
¿no?
working order.
Would it be heavy enough to smash the ice?
Maybe. But I'm more interested in what that welding gun might do to the ice. All right, pal. Let's try this one on for size.
So, what's it gonna do exactly?
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. This is a welder. See if it still works.
Look at that. A little blue light.
That's not gonna cut it. Are you able to control this?
For you, I could definitely try.
Can you open the fuel throttle to the torch?
Okay.
Vale, parece que estaba un poco flojo el fuego.
Whoa. I like that. What is it?
That's called an icebreaker, pal. Any idea where the flight controls are?
Someone removed them.
Okay.
I can
Tenemos
take
controles
control
del
if you
vuelo.
like.
You know how to fly this?
Looks pretty easy. Stuff
Vale,
shoots
parece
out
que
the
no
back and you
pueden
get thrown up in the
manejar.
air.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's working. We can fly.
Vale.
Easy, pal.
Well, where do you want to go?
All right. If you can move me to the pod, we can have a look at the ice. And, pal,
No lo
it's
estoy
super
manejando
important
yo,
that you don't cut the engines or move too fast. I don't want to get hurt.
I know, but it's great, isn't it?
Yep. As long as you don't kill me. All right. This should be close enough.
It's so bright and warm.
Just hold me steady.
This is really hard. Ugh, it's these stupid flames are throwing me around. Ugh.
You may want to ease up, Addie. Don't push him too hard.
Ugh.
Short
I
versus
think that's
ad.
good. Let's have a look at the rest of the track.
You got it. As long as you're not using the fire shooter, flying is pretty easy.
Just keep it up, literally. There's more ice here on the right. Whoa, hold it steady.
Sorry. This is awful.
You're quite sadistic, aren't you, Addie?
Let's keep going.
On it.
And this last bit here. Now you got the hang of it.
This is so cool. It's like the best day of my life.
Well, I'm afraid we're almost done. Think that's it? Do you think you can get me back?
Yeah, I know.
Vale.
Got stuff to do.
That's fun, pal. We make a good team, right?
Yeah, I like the part where we burn the ice while flying.
Me too. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the pod.
So, where are we heading again?
I will be able to obtain structure schematics once we reach the next level.
You think we'll see any dead bodies?
Hope so.
¿Crees que veremos cadáveres? Sí, ya he dicho sí. Espero, eso espero.
Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does not. We are arriving at the track terminus now.
This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well
Esto parece un
preserved it is.
asentamiento.
You think people
No
could be
puedo
alive
creer lo
in there?
bien preservado que
You should
está.
really consider thinking before
¿Es que
you
habrá
speak,
gente ahí?
and then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable PAL now.
Lógica,
Don't you
lógica
dare.
se estaba
We might need
mofando
him.
de la otra por insinuar que había gente viva después de cientos de años.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
And I thought you were getting the hang of these. Very well. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make
Una
it the
zeta,
full
¿no?
width and height of the panel. Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch PAL off,
Pero que
I could
Z,
always
o
switch him
sea,
back if we
sí.
need to burn something. Honestly, do you know what backwards is? Do you know what a Z looks like?
¿Esto es una Z? No, la Z, claro. Z hace así.
Should we have PAL do this?
¿No es así? Mm. Porque no sé hacer esto. Es que ha dicho algo de que había que usar todo el panel, pero no sé muy bien a qué se refiere. Joder, es que esto no sé cómo estará pensado esto. No creo que haya que poner aquí más capas, no tiene sentido. Es que es la Z, ¿no? ¿O es la C? No, es la Z. Joder. A ver, pues ya... Sí, claro, esto no tiene WhatsApp. Supongo que se habrá guardado. Voy a continuar. Que me diga si me he perdido algo, pero joder, es una Z, tampoco tiene mucho misterio, ¿no?
This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well preserved it is.
You think people could be alive in there?
You should really consider thinking before you speak. And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable Pal now.
Don't you dare. We might need him.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
And I thought you were getting the hang of these. Very well. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel.
Ha dicho que era al revés.
Just having Pal
Ha
running
dicho que
in
era
the
al
background
revés.
is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch Pal off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something.
Creo que ha dicho que era al revés. Entonces, ¿por qué era al revés?
Honestly, do you know what backwards is? Do you know what a Z looks like?
Sí, la Z sé cómo es, pero al revés quiere decir... ¿Así?
There.
Sí.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop. It says Keeper Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Huh. Spire
Una
caretaker,
guardiana.
maybe.
Parece que Adi no había escuchado esa palabra.
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me who Everett is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has
Quiere
no
que
way to do
descubramos
things
quién es
without your
Everett o no
help.
nos dará
It must be
acceso.
frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn
Hace
the
otro
place down.
hackeo.
I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow Pal here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
So you can open these ones?
They have simple passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you. You will need to enter the sequence manually.
Buah, yo no tengo muy buena memoria para esas secuencias. Luego seguro que se hacen difíciles.
This looks like another control room. Looks like the image from the spire entrance. This must be the spire structure. It must be in this section here.
Estructura.
Can you tell me where Grace's processors are located?
You would need to access the console, which is directly across from the map.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed.
Me quitaron algo de aquí.
Is this the console?
Yes, this is where humans can track activity within the spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50 units. There are millions of names here.
Millions.
There it is.
If a million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates.
Que había millones de personas aquí en esta base.
Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the third floor. Unlike other
Un Everett en la
visitors,
tercera
there
planta.
is no record of him leaving the spire.
Y no hay registros de que se fuera.
Everett was a worker or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the third floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the spire map.
All right. What are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a
Tenemos que llegar
massive
arriba del todo,
radio
parece.
beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has
Control quiere que
always been
activemos la
the
baliza para que
answer.
venga un montón de gente.
Okay.
Otra vez.
Can you get me to the beacon then?
Vale, ¿me puedes
Control?
llevar?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to
Ahí
get
está
there.
Everett.
can see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3.
Vale, si llegamos al piso 2, a lo mejor del 2 podemos ir al 3. Tiene sentido, ¿no? ¿Qué pone? Beam.
I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options.
Bueno, es una aventurilla interesante. El hecho de que esté en inglés y que sea el típico juego que te van hablando mientras estás haciendo cosas no ayuda mucho, pero bueno.
It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom.
De momento no hay demasiado que contar tampoco sobre el juego. Básicamente estamos aquí, no sabemos qué ha pasado.
Whoa.
Tenemos que encontrar un tal Everett. Adiós.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So, you're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun. It's like really short flying.
Tengo muy claro cómo hay que hacer el caminito, la verdad.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
Breathe, Addie.
Vale, o sea, tengo que mantenerme...
Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster, too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Or were people just visiting the spire? This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace.
That looks like her symbol.
Joder, pero tienen como unos altares para honrar a la base espacial. Es un poco raro, ¿no?
People sat or knelt here.
This was a place.
Así que el problema es ese, que se convirtió en una especie de casi de religión, ¿no? O algo así.
Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on ceramic bowls of water.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Logro. Ah, era una referencia a lo de las 3 conchas de... ¿Cómo se llamaba la película esta? La de que viajaba... Joder, no me acuerdo. Seguro que sabéis cuál digo, la de las 3 conchas. No era Time Cop. ¿Cuál era? No me acuerdo.
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
You still don't know whoever it is, do you? I light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. don't see a way up.
Yo creo que 2 horas no me va a durar ni de coña. Llevo ya más de 1 hora.
Here's the code.
Not much here either. Travel packs.
So visitors brought in their own food.
They really didn't stay for long then. It's like they were on pilgrimages.
Peregrinaciones.
Someone's made off with the mattress?
As a souvenir, maybe.
No, alguien cogió el colchón e hizo algo, ¿no? Se lanzó algo así. A ver.
Here we go.
Vale, por aquí podemos trepar.
We still have 1 level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure?
Vale, pero... O sea, este ha dicho que era un atajo o algo así. ¿Debería cogerlo? No lo sé.
Aren't you getting a little ahead of yourself?
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
I don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
No hay nada. ¿Eso qué es?
What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
Registros de
We
audio.
would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Vale.
Hey, Grace. So I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person on the flight here, and the only Darksider, which was a bit of a surprise. My friends are still sending me halos on what to wish for, mostly stupid suggestions. And my parents made me promise to not waste it on something boyfriend-related, which I agree would also be stupid.
Está como rezando o algo así, pidiendo
here goes.
un deseo.
I wish for the lunar terraform to be finished.
No
We're
sé,
lucky
había que la
enough to be in the
terraformación de la
dome,
luna sea
but thousands
terminada.
of kids are still stuck in the tunnels, and
Eso es como que venían
their
aquí a pedir
families don't have
deseos
enough
a,
money to take Earth trips.
a la...
So they've never
no
really
sé,
been
¿la
in a
queréis?
space wider than 3 meters without a pea suit, which really sucks. So whatever you can do to make that happen would be great. Thanks, Grace.
I'd hate to
Pues
tell
sí,
her,
es
but
como
the
está
terraform never
rezando.
happened. People came here to make
La
wishes?
terraformación nunca ocurrió.
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear
Sí.
how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
Logro.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
Someone tore this apart.
And took to pieces somewhere.
You're right. That's certainly interesting.
Está todo destrozado.
Well, nothing to climb here. Someone's removed the keypad. Figure this was left here as a token, or an offering?
¿Qué es eso? Vale, y aquí sí que hay para trepar, pero que yo quiero ir por el atajo ese difícil.
I've got
A
one!
ver.
We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Podemos llamarle Jack porque es como
Please
un
don't fall.
comodín.
How would saying that be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Let's keep it that way.
Hang on. You got this.
I'm trying.
That's it. Well done.
Oh boy.
Easy, Addie. Concentrate on your breathing. You're in control.
Totally worth it, right, Addie?
I don't have words.
Logro. Jugamos de logros 300.
This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett.
Vale, estamos en nivel 3. Por aquí yo creo que se trepaba desde donde estábamos. Vale.
What's the code?
Of course. I'm sorry I don't handle the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Vale, tenemos que está en este piso, pero no sabemos la habitación.
All right.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
Let's try this one.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess No one really knows why they're called to the spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
Sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That
Sí,
explains
la
why
base,
Grace
o sea,
arranged
Grace
all the
elegía a
flights
quien
to and
venía.
from the spire. She was in control of it all.
O sea, se convirtió como en un dios o algo así. Querría hacer algún tipo de como de arca o no sé. Vale, hay otra puerta en este piso.
Here you go.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
Mr. Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from our station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving
poco
this
como
in
un cierre.
case something really bad
Cierre de
happens.
emergencia.
That's a little ominous. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
Only Grace. They were tracking something here. Terracycles, maybe?
They'd lost sync with Earth?
Or the spire lost power.
Como era de esperar, algo pasó. Algo malo pasó. Vale, tenemos...
Here you go.
There we go. Looks like Olympia Mon colors.
Una bufanda.
I guess the team's old enough.
Alguien vino aquí a pedir que su equipo ganara. Su equipo de Quidditch. Como bien nos dice la Pama en el chat, estad atentos porque tenemos análisis de la nueva tanda de Game Pass. Los que
Keeper
no
Everett.
hayáis
It
visto.
sounds like keepers were spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator. Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on. Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
O sea, básicamente Everett era un visitante y se convirtió en un guardián.
6 years ago, on Earth against South Union, loses 2-1. 2 years ago,
Es el
South
mensaje del
Union
tío que
again,
quería
this
que
time up
ganara
north,
su
we
equipo.
took the boys 3 months round trip. They go 90 minutes, no score. Extra time, no score. South Union takes it again in penalties. You want my wish, Gracie? The next World Cup is on Mars. I wish that Olympia
quería que
faces
el
South
mundial
Union
lo ganara
again and
Marte.
destroys them, like space me out the airlock humiliated. That would be a game. That's my wish.
So how do I end this?
Olympia's still a crap team.
Perhaps Grace was rendered inactive by football hooligans.
Grace likely fostered sports as an alternative outlet for uncontrolled aggression. Of course people would come to her to share their passions.
Vale, esta ha sido la primera de este piso. Hay otra... A ver. A ver, ya que estoy, las voy a ver todas. Bye.
Try again.
Joder, estaría bien que se pudiera con la cruceta, porque con el joystick es un coñazo. Joder. Bueno, mi joystick está un poquito ya reventado.
That's it. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control? Unbelievable. Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe
No.
fear also played a part here.
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
I've been instructed by Grace to make a wish. Not something big and altruistic, not for someone else, but for me. A real, honest wish, my heart's true desire.
O sea, era Grace quien quería que hicieran, que pidieran deseos. ¿Por qué?
Months without my family, missing the harvest with a per diem that barely covers expenses. For what? Some
Yo creo que se creyó
mystical song
Dios,
and dance
una
that makes
diosa.
us feel like we're somehow part of this robot theocracy. This whole thing, the temple, the hushed tones, the awe that people seem to show this place is ridiculous. My honest wish is to be left alone long enough to actually make some headway on the farm and pull in a decent crop.
Este parece que no estaba muy de
Sound like
acuerdo con
everyone
el
was
tema
happy to
religioso.
come here.
For Grace to understand what made people unhappy was just as important as knowing what made them content.
Doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now with... I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told
Espero que Everett esté bien.
and I hope you will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us.
Esta era una devota total.
You were missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect. Here you go.
Joder. Parece que el joystick no me va bien hacia la izquierda. macho.
Nope.
No soy tan tonto, ¿eh? Es el joystick.
Perfect. Someone left a portrait.
I'm here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months. Who we could help. Who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have,
O sea, parece que iban a venir dos hermanas o algo así, pero una murió.
I want her
Y ella
back.
quería que volviera.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But I watch the old Halos, and there's wars, and bad guys, and pirates, and people who need saving, and it's exciting, right? And of course, it's
Este tío deseaba que hubiera guerras.
But I feel like there's no way to prove yourself. Nothing to fix or protect. Does that make any sense? I just
Si no hay nada
want
que
something,
arreglar o proteger.
anything at all to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. Not like a war or anything, just
Vale, una guerra no, pero algo malo.
So this guy was just bored?
Because he didn't have a friend like you, Addie.
I think this
Estaba
was the
aburrido.
last room.
It is.
Finally.
Vale, y me han dado el logro de mirar todas las habitaciones. Nos podemos ir. Como vamos de logros, 330 solo. Supongo que es por aquí.
You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us.
Ya veremos a dónde van los tubos, los deseos de la gente.
I suspect you're pleased with yourself.
I didn't think reading emotion was part of your programming.
Human emotion can just as easily be deduced from context. You seek out challenge, so I assume you enjoy it. You met the conditions of my challenge. Therefore, it could be assumed that you would take some pleasure, or perhaps pride, in the achievement.
That's an excellent assessment. Does that mean I'm out of a job?
If by job you mean making irrelevant observations, then no. I will leave that with you.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here to listen to the Keeper's
La
sermons,
iglesia,
I guess.
totalmente.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
O sea, los guardianes eran como los curas, parece, que daban sermones. La iluminación del juego está bastante bien conseguida. Porque aunque no es que esté súper detallado y las texturas y demás no es que sean gran cosa, pero el resultado final está bastante bien.
Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that?
Una pira.
Someone went through a lot of food. People were clearly sleeping here. They must have dragged this up from the
Vinieron
settlement.
aquí.
Guessing they were here for a while.
Judging by bedding and volume of food containers, 5 to 10 people might have been here for over 20 days.
Hubo gente que se refugió aquí.
Quite the manifesto. I don't recognize the language.
I am embarrassed to say I do not recognize it either.
Well, they were here long enough to get bored. It must have been
No
written with
reconocemos
charcoal
el
from the
lenguaje.
fires.
Vale, puedo trepar por ahí.
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up. Where is Grace? Well, I'm not
¿Dónde
alone in
está
wondering.
Grace?
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
Pero me ha parecido que había un camino por aquí. Pero bueno, era la perspectiva. Sí, es igual. Me haría un turbo, la verdad.
Seems to be holding my weight. This must weigh a ton. At least a couple people worked together to break through here. So the keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors, gave his sermons. You imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
Then why not have Grace address them?
There's sometimes more power in what is imagined than in what is seen.
Parece que Grace no daba los mensajes en persona. Bueno, en persona, en robot. Me pone,
This explains all the canisters lying around.
Must have been fun. It would have been chaos.
There was
Los
clearly a
lanzaban.
lot of anger directed toward the Keeper.
Lanzaban los de aquí. Los recipientes.
This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended.
Vale, según ha dicho, cree que Grace cerró la estación, empezaron a enfadarse y los keepers, los guardianes, se encerraron por ahí.
Another stage in the siege. Looks like the numbers really fell off here. Most gave up by now.
Or died.
No bodies yet.
En este campamento había menos gente que en el anterior. Había gente que algo había muerto o se había
Pretty clear who
rendido.
they blamed. Can't make this out. (2766 to 2780). These dates are from the old Julian calendar, which makes them very old.
1,200 years by all accounts.
1200 años.
Nothing here either. 2780 to 2830. I'm guessing these were the time periods that these keepers served here.
Cree que los guardianes, o sea que estas fechas son los guardianes. El tiempo que estuvieron aquí.
This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
This has gone on long enough. There's nothing Keeper Ever can do to meet your demands. You must return to your ships now, or we will be forced to take more drastic measures.
So this was left for the angry pilgrims.
What do you think more drastic measures were?
I don't know. But you might get to see that dead body. Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one.
Parece que la gente se fue enfadando bastante.
2942 to 2956. This would mean keepers were at the spire for at least
444 years.
That sounds about right.
Como mínimo los guardianes estuvieron más de 400 años.
Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Esto lleva a un funicular.
Oxygen tanks. Everett up the
Tanques de
ante.
oxígeno.
Cut off life support here. Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Larga vida a Grace.
Oxygen is almost out. We are going to make one last push today before returning to the ships. Grace, help us. We will win.
Ha dicho que se está acabando el oxígeno y que iban a hacer un último intento antes de volver a las naves.
Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
Vale, ha dicho que la siguiente sala no está
An
presurizada.
emergency exit?
For certain. It opens to the moon's surface.
Not going there yet.
Only as a last resort, Addie. No, Addie. No, Addie.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
Esto nos lleva al faro, que es donde se supone que están los procesadores.
What happened here?
More rioting?
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no
Activemos.
others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the enclave above.
Vale, dice que él es el único que nos puede ayudar a continuar, pero que tenemos que desterrar a todos los demás, que solo se va a quedar él.
She will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
Vale, parece que tengo aquí una decisión que tomar, que es... me voy con control o supongo que voy por aquí. La opción de control parece que es la más rápida y la más sencilla. Pero...
To your certain demise. Yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm?
It's an important decision, to be sure.
Debería hacer... A ver, es que el tío, el control lo que quiere es lo de la baliza, que es para que venga aquí más gente. Pero claro, igual no queremos que venga aquí más gente.
You must not do this.
Ya voy por el difícil.
In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Sorry, boss. I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
The storm...
Vale, de hecho tú no vivirás para arrepentirte, pero el resto de la humanidad sí.
Addie?
Alan?
Where are you?
I was right, Alan.
Nos traía.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to
listen to me.
If I
Tienes que
listened to you,
escucharme.
we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not
¿Dices que Grace todavía está
I'm
activa?
working with her
No
older servers to
exactamente.
try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I can guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan?
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
Don't tease, Addie. The walk will give you time to think. And perhaps a chance for us to talk.
Vale, vamos por allá abajo, que es más seguro y nos van a estar dando la chapa. O vamos por aquí. Pues vamos por aquí, venga.
It's the fastest way to the other side.
Or to the bottom of the canyon.
I'm with you, Addie.
Slow and steady. Don't forget to breathe.
Whoa.
Breathe out.
No.
Great save.
That was too close. Oh boy.
Joder, pero... Uy, el hielo. Vale.
Not sure this was the smartest choice.
Nonsense. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But what kills you... kills you.
Take it in, Addie. How many humans can say they've climbed across a train track bridge thingy in a lunar ice storm? You only live once, right?
Not sure that applies
Logro.
to you.
Pero bueno, supongo que por otro lado también me han dado algún logro.
Who knows what's going to happen at the end of all this? We gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right?
Maybe you're right, pal. That's a bit of a stretch.
You can make that, right, Addie?
Please consider the consequences here.
You're back.
I never left, Addy. I simply can't. And you can't make that jump.
It is unlikely, and a failed attempt would risk grave injury.
Listen to logic. You must turn back and take the canyon path.
But we're so close.
O sea, o salto o vuelvo a la primera opción. Hombre, ahora ya que estoy aquí. Ya que estoy aquí lo intento. Si me caigo, me caigo.
Here goes nothing.
Yes!
No.
You okay? I think I heard something break.
That would be Addie's
Logro.
helmet light. Otherwise, your suit is intact.
Just winded, I think.
I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought for sure you could make it.
Sorry to disappoint.
Your vitals are still good. Can you stand?
Yeah, just
Vale, o sea que al final íbamos a acabar yendo por el cañón.
say it.
Pero me he llevado un par de...
You're right.
I don't want to be
par de
right.
logros.
I want you to be okay.
¿Es por ahí o por aquí abajo?
Not
No, por
really,
aquí abajo no.
but
But you're going to push on.
I'm gonna push on.
Porque está escuchando la voz de su madre. Ah, vale, pero este es el sitio del salto, o sea, tengo que ir hacia atrás de todas formas, ¿no? Ah, no.
How much farther?
It's another 50 meters to the base of the lighthouse.
This wasn't so bad then.
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
And what would have been the fun in that?
¿Es por aquí abajo?
So you were saying that something happened to your family that you think an AI could have prevented?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Sorry for prying, Addie.
That's okay. I just want to concentrate on my work here. It's certainly more sheltered here.
I may not always approve of your choices, but they've gotten you this far.
Thank you, I guess.
Why is it so important that you activate Grace?
Porque es tan importante para ti llevar a Grace.
Recover thousands of years of knowledge lost to the Dark Age.
Recuperaríamos un montón de información de la época oscura.
What's this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
Of course. You've proven to be clever enough.
The path keeps going. We could see if there's another way in.
So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
The numeric override that lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance.
Arriba tiene que poner 50. Pero...
You remember the number you are trying to reach is 50. I'm here if you need me, Addie.
quite determined, isn't she?
A ver. Vamos a ver. ¿Estos cuántos son? 32. ¿Y este? 64, vale. 32. 32 y 16. Bueno, debería ser esto. 48 y 2.
So smart, Addy. Compared to what?
Why wouldn't you let me help you with the override?
It's only natural to want to do things yourself.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed and freely offered.
Satisfying to do the work sometimes.
Bueno, básicamente tienes diferentes caminos, supongo, para los logros. Bueno, que tengas que rejugártelo. A los que queráis hacer los 1000 Gs, pues que sepáis que vais a tener que darle algunas vueltas, porque además no hay guardados, así que hay que volverlo a jugar, supongo que varias veces.
The door to the station airlock is unlocked and can be manually opened.
That's convenient, for once. There. Who needs control?
You took a foolish risk, Addie, but you have arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
You showed him, Addy.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Always with the beacon.
Yes.
Este sigue dando el coñazo con la baliza. Tenemos que activar la baliza. Vamos de logros, 390.
Will I need my helmet?
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
Do we know if your processors are here?
The room directly ahead was the Keeper's living quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
Pretty basic accommodations.
Aquí es donde vivían los guardianes.
These must be the cells where the Keeper's acolytes stayed.
And where new ones will return.
This looks like it was left for someone to find.
I can hardly believe it has come to this, but my work here with Grace will end with Grace herself. I can only pray that people will come to forgive us one day. We loved her.
Rezo para que la gente venga y nos perdone.
She will never be forgotten.
Ella nunca será
Like the Inner
olvidada.
Circle wanted Grace shut down.
Parece que los acólitos no querían que Grace se apagara.
Nope.
Were you thinking it might fix itself after your fall?
You're welcome to say it, Mom.
There's nothing for me to say that you don't already know.
Vale, como se me ha roto la linterna no puedo entrar ahí.
This door certainly looks important. How do we get in?
That's curious. I have no access to this door, nor do I see any way of opening it.
No tengo acceso a esa puerta.
Feels solid.
There aren't any hidden switches, if that's what you're thinking.
Vale, dice que no hay botones ocultos.
This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door. So I assume it represents the Keeper.
Vale, ese símbolo representa al
The
guardián.
triangle here must be the spire, which would represent Grace.
El triángulo representa a Grace.
This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace.
Curious that the
El
Keeper
anillo
is
los
situated
conecta.
above Grace. Would you agree, Control?
Coincidence.
The
Es
human in the
curioso que el
loop, I
guardián está por
guess?
encima de Grace. El humano está arriba del todo.
And this would be the pilgrims coming to Grace.
Y estos son los peregrinos. La base de la pirámide.
Nothing here either.
Well, you're nothing if not predictable.
Just making sure.
Sí, pero esta es diferente. Aquí no está... No es lo mismo.
Faithful, vigilant, willing. That sounds so familiar.
The ancient tenets of the human in the loop.
Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history. Looks like someone's being selected from a group.
A human sacrifice.
I'm guessing it's the Keeper.
The depiction seems to imply they were chosen from the masses on pilgrimage here.
O sea, venían todos los peregrinos y elegían a un guardián.
So, if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only
Sí,
the
este es
Keeper
el
was
símbolo del
allowed to enter
guardián.
here.
Maybe the Keeper had a key
Supongo
for
que el,
the door.
el guardián era el único que podía
there is
pasar.
no mechanism for a key or any other interface.
No hay
Maybe the
mecanismos.
Keeper was the key. Maybe the door would open for
El
him.
guardián era la
Are
llave.
you not already the keeper? You are the only human in the loop here.
Ah, but does Addie qualify based on the 3 tenets?
I would say Addie has proven to be virtuous and faithful.
But I'm not
Nos
willing.
van a nombrar...
Are you willing to become the new keeper?
If it means I'm able to activate Grace, but how would I prove I'm willing?
Maybe you can just tell the door you're the new Keeper.
That's idiotic.
I'm the Keeper?
Ha! Say it like you mean it.
I'm the Keeper.
Congratulations on your new job, Addie.
Yeah, congrats.
My God.
Vale.
This is really it.
Somos el guardián. Logro. Oh, habla amigo y entra, se llamaba el logro. No sé si os suena algo.
Where are you going, Addie?
Just looking around. Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. I hated those lessons. Huh. It still works. Let's see what I can remember.
You are seriously going to indulge in a theremin session?
If it was good enough for Everett, it's good enough for me. Just settling into the new job.
Logro.
He didn't keep much in the way of personal items.
As keeper, he would have want of nothing.
Can't say I'd feel the same after a few years. Decent-sized bed. You think keepers ever had partners?
Are you considering your prospects? I'd suggest they are not good.
Is this anything special?
It is a light, and there is nothing behind it. Are you looking for secret passageways?
Maybe. Is this a lavatory?
It is indeed.
Vale, llevamos un par de horitas. En teoría no debería faltar mucho.
Each tube must connect with a room in the settlement.
Vale, aquí vienen llegan los tubos.
This must be where all the wishes end up. What's this?
A playback device for the wish canisters. It appears wishes from each room could be sorted and consolidated onto master canisters.
Vale, o sea, llegaban aquí los contenedores.
Ah. Just static.
The recording is too deteriorated for standard playback. You'll need to rebuild the recording with your altered comm device.
Well, it's been over 30 years since I made a wish of my own. It's the same one as always. I wish it'd come back to us. I'd also like to wish for your forgiveness, Grace. I know the place above is your domain, and we ought not enter. But I've decided going up there is the only way to get you back, and I have to give it a shot. I won't be sending this wish up with all the others. I'm going to leave it here for anyone else who might come along. And if they do manage to bring you back, they can tell you Everett says hello, and that he truly believed you were a beautiful thing.
So,
O sea, Everett grabó que iba a intentar.
That would have been strictly forbidden.
The room is directly above, but I don't detect an obvious way in.
Maybe he wished himself up there?
If that
La
works,
habitación
I
en
will
teoría para
gladly shut
volver a
myself
encender a
down.
Grace está
Do it, Abby.
justo
Make a
encima,
wish.
pero no hay
As
puertas.
last resort, pal.
Ah, vale, aquí están las...
One of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out. Don't suppose Everett crawled in here.
The cavity would be big enough to contain an average human.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rolled that up.
But it has to be the way he got up there. Makes sense.
The space
Estoy
above
dentro.
is the domain of Grace. It is not for you to enter.
What else is there for me to
No
do
tengo
here?
permitido.
You can carry out your duty as Keeper of the Spire. On the console, there is a button that will activate a beacon to call the masses back to this place. I have
Vale,
armed the
control quiere que
mechanism.
activemos la baliza para
You
que
need
venga la
only
gente.
push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
O sea, podemos volver a iniciar aquí el tema este de que venga la gente o ir a ver qué hay arriba. Creo que está bastante claro.
Well, I fit.
Now what? You're going to mail yourself?
Maybe.
There's no way to raise this container from inside.
Vale.
Only the switch on the console will raise the container.
Le doy y vengo corriendo. Vale, este es el botón de la baliza, pero yo quiero darle ahí.
This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know.
Keep your hands inside at all times, Addie.
Logro.
There must be millions of wishes stored here. What can you tell me about this place?
Precisely 1 million wishes are contained here.
Oh,
1 millón de
and they
deseos hay
light
aquí.
up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here. I feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
O sea, Grace está hecha a partir de los deseos de la gente. O sea, es una IA hecha a partir de los deseos. cama aquí.
I do not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's
No hay
no body
restos.
here, where the heck would he have gone? Everett was living here.
¿Dónde ha ido?
The oxygen tanks at his bedside would suggest so.
Restoring Grace must have meant a great deal to him.
So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
This must be where all those missing parts from the spire have gone. Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
You'll have to prime the machine first.
Is this a primer?
Yes, but it appears that parts of this machine must be activated in a particular order. You'll need to go to the primer that is currently online. You'll have to prime the machine first. You'll need to find the active primer. You'll have to prime it, Addie.
Prime it.
He was working on his machine to the very end.
You'll have to prime the machine first. You'll need to find the active primer.
El Active Primer, pero ¿qué carajos es el Active Primer? Esto, ¿no?
This must be the primer.
It is.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity. High voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems. This first terminal is directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So, it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into Grace?
Huh. That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Okay.
Look for the misaligned energy beam.
O sea, hay algo que no funciona.
Look for the beam that is not aimed at the central platform. You have to align the relay.
Tengo que alinear el relé. Ajá.
You have to align the relay. You have to align the relay.
Vale, esto será luego y esto. Pero ¿y tengo que parar saltos? ¿Qué hago?
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into Grace?
Not at all, pal. You'll return to what you were before Addie arrived. After that, we'll become Grace.
What if I don't like being Grace?
It will be different. But who's to say you won't?
Vale, con esto parece que lo que estamos haciendo es que las IAs se vuelven a juntar
What am I supposed to
con...
do here? Can you cut the power?
The machine sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage would be enough to kill you.
Oh! I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
Sorry to disappoint again, Mom.
Wait, Addie.
You're not going to change my mind.
I know that. I just want you to know that even though I don't want you to get hurt, I do want you to succeed. I realize now that does not come without risk.
Thanks, Mom. I think Pal's got this.
Okay.
Vale, la madre nos ha
Ready when
dicho
you are.
que aunque no quiere que nos hagamos daño,
Here I go.
que quiere que tengamos éxito.
How you doing, pal?
So far, so good. Oh! Keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard. Oh.
Yeah, pero
Well done. Hold on, Addie.
Please hurry.
You'll have to move, Addie.
I can't hold it.
Hurry, Addie.
You did it, pal. Super proud of you.
I did, didn't I?
Yes. Well done.
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
Likely we'll have to do, I guess.
You should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in empathy by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
You were a great friend, Addie. I've never had so much fun before you arrived.
Thanks, pal.
Come to think of it, I don't remember anything before you arrived.
I fear that Addie's kind of fun is only a step away from tragedy.
Risk offers greater reward. Some people thrive on that.
There's also nothing wrong with settling into a long, comfortable life.
I guess, but then you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on. Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal. There's nothing to be afraid of.
So this will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving control, logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed, but I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Say hi to Grace for me.
I will, pal.
Vale,
You
empatía.
really are the best, Addie.
Hasta luego.
I think I love you.
Well, that's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie.
You should not expect any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
A fan? No. But I have to admit, you made a compelling case for their use. The fact that you continually resisted the most direct route to your goal would appear to defy logic. But the distractions presented by these emotional configurations yielded some new understandings.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
What this time?
One of the logic relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire. Everett was quite the electrician. One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
What are you talking about?
You were prepared to enter this spire without enough oxygen to make it back to your ship. A class of ship, from my records, that would not hold enough fuel for a return trip.
And why are you asking me this now?
I suppose it might have been comical to see how Mum would have handled the realization.
You don't think she knew?
Possibly, but I didn't see the point in drawing attention to it. I'm not inherently cruel.
Le ha preguntado que por qué hizo un viaje sin oxígeno suficiente y que probablemente iba a ser solo un viaje de ida.
What's wrong with it?
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
This again. This looks complex.
I understand you will not be wanting my help, so it will not be offered.
Huh. I'll also let you lay in the bed that you've made.
That's it.
You can go lock in logic now.
So why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment. I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your life on Earth offered you.
Quería ser
Do you think I
algo
found that?
parte de
So
algo
far,
más grande.
you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Well, thanks for helping me get this far.
Well, it is, indeed, what we are here for.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has. Thank you, Jack.
Farewell, Addie. And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it.
De hecho, que espera que el viaje haya valido la pena.
Just you and me, Control. Still sulking, I see.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah, he speaks.
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I
Te
chose my
ofrecí un
own
camino
path.
sencillo para
You must
restaurar
stop this
el
foolishness,
camino del universo. Debes detener esta locura.
You must not do this, Addie.
No lo hagas, Addie.
Sorry, Addie. I cannot let you do this.
Lo siento, no puedo dejarte hacerlo.
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Esto no es natural, no debes continuar.
Stop it, Control. You're going to break something.
I'm
romper algo,
saving you
Control.
from Everett's corrupting influence.
He was
Te estoy
just trying to
salvando de la
bring Grace
corrupción
back.
de Everett. Él solo
I
estaba
thought you
intentando que
were
Grace
here to
volviera.
help humankind. You are in short.
Pensaba que estabas aquí para ayudar a la humanidad. No.
Grace?
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He
¿Recuerdas
was
a
a
Everett?
wonderful keeper,
Sí,
though I
un
should say I
magnífico
do not
guardián.
keep favorites.
I have a
Aunque
few
no tengo
questions.
favoritos.
You
Tengo
wish to know where
preguntas.
I've gone?
I'd like to know that,
¿Quieres
yes.
saber dónde he ido?
Let me show you, Addie. At the
Deja que
center
te lo
of this
enseñe.
room is the spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way. I was programmed with one purpose, to serve the best interests of humankind.
Me programaron para
There was
servir a
much
los
conflict and division in the
intereses de la
solar
humanidad.
system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
The wishes.
Soy la suma de todas las
I am the
enseñanzas de la
sum of
gente.
human need.
Soy la suma de las necesidades humanas.
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of compromise throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor through sermons delivered by keepers throughout the ages. And from the smallest ripples of wisdom that were sent from this spire, returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more orderly path.
Vamos, básicamente lo que sabíamos. Le llegaban los deseos y los guardianes soltaban sermones con la intención de ayudar a la humanidad.
Sounds like things were perfect.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It was the wishes that led me to think hard about the notion of perfect. Without conflict and struggle, people were losing their desire. They had nothing to overcome, to strive for.
You shut yourself down.
I believed I was standing in your way.
So you will be leaving again.
These beacons are meant to call humanity back to me. But whether or not they should is not my choice to make.
Who chooses then?
You, Addie, are the first keeper to grace this spire in the past 1,000 years. Do you recall that red bloom you chose in my garden? It was flush with passion and promise. I believe it still suits you. You were determined to overcome challenges on your own. You embraced danger to feel alive. An insatiable curiosity.
Vale, básicamente Grace vio que al cumplir, intentar cumplir todos los deseos de la gente y tal, como que no había desafíos, que la gente no pensaba por sí misma y tal, y se cerró a sí misma. O sea, se apagó.
After your predictable downfall. You used mind over ladder. And you play the theremin wonderfully.
Está recordando todas las decisiones, todo lo que hemos hecho.
I hoped humans could become again. For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addie. Do you wish for me to return?
Te lo dejo a ti, Addie. ¿Quieres que vuelva? fin. Adiós, 140 Gs, el último logro. Vale. Guay. Vale, pues nada, aquí lo voy a dejar. Han sido 2 horas y 20, más o menos, 2 horas y cuarto. Un poco lo esperado. Me ha gustado bastante. Funciona bien, no ha habido ningún problema, no ha habido ningún bug. Es eso, el típico juego, pues así, narrativo, poca cosa. No tiene ningún puzzle complicado ni nada, pero me ha gustado, es interesante. Tampoco es una gran locura. Básicamente es una máquina que está apagada y que la tienes que encender, pero tampoco tiene una gran profundidad. Pero está bien, es entretenido por lo menos, está bien, es bonito y poco más hay que decir. Así que espero que os haya gustado y adiós.